Quick moment of silence for Notre Dame's 2022 season. I'm like 60%. I'm like 60% joking, but Tim, you've been following Notre Dame forever, right?
Long time.
I haven't. I mean, obviously, I've been following Notre Dame for my entire life, but not at the same level since I started covering Notre Dame for Blue and Gold. This is my fourth season, and nothing like this, dude. Nothing like this. So, I guess we can start with what you're drinking because that's probably going to be more fun to talk about than this game. What are you drinking, Tim?
You know what? In honor of Mr. Mike Singer from a week ago, I pulled another pumpkin. My wife bought a bunch of pumpkins from like 5-6 different New England breweries. I was like, load them up, sweetheart. So I got one right here.
So here's what I'm drinking. There's nothing in here yet because I just popped open a new bottle of Two Tigers. So I think I'm just going to start pouring, and just Tim, whenever you say when is when we'll
hey, it's all good. It's all
that'll
good.
do. All right, that'll do to start.
Right.
For angry people about Mike, don't drink on the show. Hey, I got a cool job where I can drink on the job, and yeah. So this is not going to be a show for the faint of heart. Okay, so if this is already offending you, just I'm sorry. I also want to add, like, I always wear like a collared shirt for these shows, or maybe even a tie. For this show, we're going Rogue Shop. We're going to Rogue Shop T-shirt, right? This is our new CBD sponsor. So, CBD oils, gummies, all that good stuff. Look at the bottom right hand corner for YouTube audience. It says, "Welcome to Road Shop. This is Charmaine, the owner. How can I be of service?" I mean, like, so if you need something to calm you down after a Notre Dame loss, head to rogueshop.com. And I'm rocking the t-shirt. All right. Hit that thumbs up, please. Please. We do appreciate those. And Tim, we already have a couple super chats. So we really appreciate the super chats. Starting 3 says, please be drinking something stronger than Bud Light seltzers. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. I've got
starting 3. He's definitely doing that. So that's a given.
This is the single malt too.
Yeah, that's a given.
Good thing I just ate dinner. And Rick, so we'll start with Rick's comment.
Oh,
where do we go from here? We need answers. So Tim, this kind of is a great way to start the show.
Where do you go from here is the same thing we said when we closed at our Wednesday live show. Marcus Freeman needs a win, and the country thought it was going to be today at home against the Thundering Herd. That is far from happening, as it's over with. So now he's got to go beat Cal Berkeley out of the Pac-12. I've had actually a couple players play for Cal Berkeley. I got a middle linebacker who was a team captain there just a few years ago, was already shooting me a couple messages saying, "Good luck next week, coach," with a lot of other type of laughing symbols that go to it. So that'll be fun. But where do we go from here? You got to get a win. You got to get a win. Eric Parseghian always said the best thing to do is start off every year with a win. And guess what? He's 0-2. So it's frustrating, and I look forward to chit-chatting with a lot of people tonight, and let's have some fun.
Yeah, like Irish says, smash the like button to vent your frustration. Yeah, how about that?
That's it.
I was in St. Louis over the weekend. Made my flight this time because last time I didn't. Or for my Detroit trip, which was rescheduled, by the way. Still going to go out to Detroit. And my flight was at like 4 or something. So we weren't planning on doing a live show.
No.
I literally just walked in the door from this trip, which was a fantastic trip, by the way, as a side note. And sorry, phone's blowing up here as one could imagine. Great trip, and I posted a fantastic video recapping my time there with highlights and my analysis. So make sure you watch that for the latest on Jeremiah Love, who you're going to hope is still considering the Irish after this game.
Hey, real quick,
Yeah, go
Real
ahead.
quick on that, Mike, because I'm sure that's going to – I actually thought of Jeremiah Love because, I know you had talked about him visiting this week, and I know Christian Gray. Everybody out there who does not know or forgets, Manti Te'o was at the 2008 Syracuse game. So let's not forget that. And for those that don't know, the only time Notre Dame's ever lost to a 9-loss team, which was that day Syracuse when they were 2-9. So Te'o got hit by snowballs and he still came to Notre Dame. So you never know. So
Look,
real positive spin for 5 seconds tonight.
if I'm a Notre Dame coach, let's say I'm Deland McCullough, Deland
Yeah.
McCullough, and I'm having dinner, which I believe they had dinner tonight with the Love family. You know what I'm saying? We need you right now, man. Did you see that offense? Did you see us put up 21 points against Marshall?
Yeah.
We can put you in the slot. We can put you at running back. I mean, we need a dude. So, I mean, the program history and the tradition of Notre Dame is not gone after the academics haven't changed, right? Like Notre Dame's still Notre Dame. You just have something to sell. And I'll be doing a recruit reaction. Like I've already contacted a ton of recruits and Notre Dame commits and whatnot, and to get their reaction to the game. So I'll have that story up probably tomorrow morning.
Charlie Weiss is, speaking of recruiting, Charlie Weiss's best recruiting class, which loaded up on players that, were the early years of Brian Kelly, came after that, horrendous 3-9 season in 2007, that class of 08, one of the highest ranked classes Notre Dame's had since Holt. So recruiting's recruiting, players still need a place to go and whatnot. So I'm sure I'm actually looking forward to hearing some of the quotes from the recruits. So that's going to be good.
Yeah. I mean, they're riding with Notre Dame. For sure.
Sure.
Had a super chat come in. I'm so offended, says I'm here for therapy. So
well, that's why we're going live tonight. We weren't planning on going live, as Mike said, and we're definitely here to do some therapy and chit chat away and try and no D line talk, Mike, as you've said, because all I've done is jinx them. So we're not even going to mention the D line. So it's I keep jinxing them, saying how they need to come out and dominate. So that's far from obviously today.
Yeah, I like to tell you all that I am very much like super honest, right? To a point where it's like, yeah, it's probably not even good for our business. It's like, yeah, Mike, you probably shouldn't even said that. But like, guys, I'm not a Notre Dame fan, right? Like, I didn't grow up a Notre Dame fan like you did. I think the only non-Notre Dame fans in here are just Marshall fans who want to come talk crap and me, right?
Sure.
I started covering Notre Dame in 2019. I'd covered a handful of schools before. I actually grew up a Georgia Tech fan growing up in Atlanta. And I feel this one. Usually I'm not texting Tim and Goolsby being like, damn, they suck. Like, what is going on? This guy sucks. Like, oh, this coach isn't, I'm saying that stuff. Like, I felt this one.
You were hyped today, Mike. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, you got hyped.
Hype is Tim's favorite word.
A lot of hype. Well, yeah, I mean, Notre Dame's been a lot of hype for 9 months. So, still waiting for a celebratory video for afterwards.
Optimist says, great sponsor. Rogue Shop. RogueShop.com. I agree. I wish I had, I wish I was able to take their product, but I wanted to be a little fired up for this show and not mellowed out a little bit, So, all right, Tim, where do you want to start? We don't have much of a script or an outline for this one. Actually, we just don't. So where do you want to start, Tim?
Where do we want to start? It's you lose to Marshall, which ended up, what was the final line? 20.5, 21 points, opened at 18. People putting money on Notre Dame to go out there, cheer on Coach Freeman, get their first win. They sold out the game, which was like a couple days ago, is far from selling out. They sell it out. The place is going exciting. Pep rally, I texted this to you and Mr. Goolsby is they had a pep rally last night, which is Notre Dame tradition. The weirdest thing I've ever seen as a Notre Dame fan is they come out of Mass for the first time, since the Kelly era began, and they do another pep rally. I had to do a double take. I saw this on Twitter. I'm like, is this something from last night? No, it was suit and ties. Jared Patterson was on this little mini stage they had. So I found that fascinating. They did another pep rally today, and Freeman was giving hype speeches and all that to the crowd as they walked to the stadium. Never have seen that. Never have seen that. You come out of Mass or during the Kelly years, you're just, boom, coming straight from wherever they are, from the buses, so to speak. And then when Goolsby and the past guys all played, you go to the Basilica, do your Mass, with your teammates, your guys you're getting ready to go to battle with for the next 60 minutes, and you go right to the stadium. So I didn't understand the pep rally. I just found that extremely frustrating. And then the game in general, Mike, where do we want to go? Hey, 30 seconds on this. Where in the living heck is the defense? The offense struggles. Mike Goolsby, who's going to be on with you tomorrow night, played on one of the greatest Notre Dame defenses ever, 2002. And the offense didn't score a point for like 3 games, and they won games because the defense said, put it on our shoulders. We will win this game. And today, Buckner, the offense, throwing the picks, the run game. Where the living heck is the run game? They don't do anything. They take the lead. Finally, they take the lead, go for 2. They get the 2-pointer. And then, boom, the next drive, they pin Marshall to the 5, and then 95 yards by Marshall to take the lead. So where's the defense? And that defense is loaded. I don't want to hear Young and all that. They got 2 freshmen playing backups. The rest of those dudes are juniors, seniors, fifth-year seniors. Where is the senior leadership on defense to take over a game? Because that's what this team that's what we've been told for 9 months this team is about, is the seniors and the defense and the front 7. And Marshall, I'm sure you'll pull up the stats, Mike, I think 220 plus yards rushing on an offensive line, which I mentioned in our preview show yesterday. We're replacing 130 starts. That's like replacing the 2020 unit. Just, 130 starts. That's crazy. And then to go out, look at that, rush yards, 219 average yards rush, 4.5 yards a carry, basically. So there's just a quick soapbox on that, and then we'll talk offense.
That wasn't 30 seconds, Tim.
What's that?
So that wasn't 30 seconds.
It's we have no time limit tonight so far. And then the offense, man, I know we're going to talk all day about that.
We have a super chat, which we'll get to in a second. Now let's just go to it now.
Go to it.
This is usually not me, but I just feel this one, man. This one just okay.
Yeah.
B Place says, love the Adam Sandler picture, by the way. It's a great movie. Notre Dame could use the water boy on this team. Says offense is just not good. Quarterback room looks bad. No quarterback in 23 class. Really frustrating. Tommy Reese has no identity as a play caller, just all over the place and messy. Any disagreements, Tim?
No. I know we've been, it's interesting. I was, as we talk and we text, and I was texting last night with Goolsby late last night, just chit chatting. And it's like the quarterback room is, we talk about the quarterbacks as individuals, but it's a collection that the offense is built around those guys. And what is absolutely puzzling to me is each and every one of the quarterbacks Tommy Reese has recruited is completely different than the other guy. Drew Pine is different than Buckner, and Jelly's different than Pine. CJ Carr is the closest thing to Jimmy Clausen as he is to Buckner or Pine. So every single guy is different. USC, who last I checked had 3 touchdowns in the first quarter at Stanford. So, Lincoln Riley, just throwing him out. All his quarterbacks are the same. You come in, you're going to run Lincoln Riley's offense. And with Buckner, as he was dangling his shoulder at the end of the game, we're not doctors, but your shoulder's dangling. What's the odds of him playing next week? We'll find out, right? We thought Cone was going to be out last year a game, and he ended up playing. But so if Pine's in, the offense is completely different. The success today was the tempo and the quarterback zone read, the quarterback RPO, the true Buckner stuff that we've talked about. I call it the Urban Meyer offense. The true quarterback, you're the ringleader. Go be Braxton Miller. Go be, Barrett. Go be those guys for us. But Pine's in, it's going to be a different offense. If Pine gets dinged up, and Jelly had different success in high school running a different offense than being a zone read guy. And you've seen Jelly play live. So I don't understand the quarterback room. I really don't. I don't understand the packages. I've been hung up on this. Freeman's comment last week has really resonated with me, where one of the questions after the game was, the use of 3 different running backs, and Freeman says, well, we have 3 different packages for each one. So is that 3 different offenses they're practicing all week? Where in the college game, when you talk modern college offenses, they're just running an offense and they're just running schemes, kind of like Ohio State. Outside zone, quick passes to the wide receivers and take a couple shots a game. With Notre Dame, man, it is just 13 personnel, 12 personnel, motions, fleshed out this. They're in tons of trips today with Mayer. So they did more empty today than they, I think, did all last year, it felt like. So it's an interesting concept. So
Rick and Robert, we'll get to your super chats here in a second. Couple thoughts, Tim. Remember once upon a time, there was this guy, Mike Singer, who said, the floor, everyone calm down, but the floor could be 7-5. If shit hits the fan, this team could go, oh, Mike, that is the most, what about now? 7-5 is not out of the realm of possibility because Notre Dame's got 2 losses now and still have to play USC and Clemson.
Yeah.
You better hope to God that Josh Downs, that North Carolina receiver, is out because he's one of the best playmakers in the country. He's been out these first couple weeks. BYU, away from home. So,
and they have
also Tim, I just want to throw this out there. I'm going to call him Saint Harry because everyone just expected Harry Heaston to come back and just fix this O-line, right? The offensive line, right? This is, you correct me if I'm wrong about the O-line narrative, and we will get to these super chats in a second. I always kind of like Jeff Quinn. I really liked him as a recruiter, and that's my job, is covering recruiting and, of course, doing the YouTube channel. And so I always liked Quinn, but everyone said, oh, Quinn sucks. The only reason he's getting good players is because of the tradition Harry Heaston brought in, right? So it's like, all right, even when Notre Dame's offensive lines are doing well, it's just because the tradition Harry built. And now Harry's back. So now are we blaming Quinn for the players that Quinn brought in? But no, I thought Harry brought in those players just because of he built O-line U. So what's going on with the offensive line? Are we blaming St. Harry? Are we blaming Quinn? Like, is it Reese? Or like what are we doing? Like what's the I don't know, Tim. I don't.
Well, this is where you get with, you're constantly doing, cycles. That's why the Kelly cycle over 12 years was good because there wasn't a constant change. So you're going from, Holtz to Davey, Davey to Willingham to what, you're constantly like reshuffling things. And then you finally have a coach who's there for 12 years. So now you're right. The first thing I'm sure we're going to hear this a ton this week, especially at the Blue and Gold message board, is, well, let him get his players in, all that thing. That is the common theme for every single football coach. I get it. So they're already, I've already heard that, well, Harry's got to get his guys. Well, he's got Blake Fisher, who's top 50 recruit, who absolutely blew multiple plays today on outside run, just guys running underneath him for a TFL. Zeke Correll, he is part of recruiting him. Jared Patterson, he didn't recruit, but, that's after he left, Jeff Quinn went. Josh Lugg was with him. Josh Lugg's been at Notre Dame so long. Harry, he was coached by Harry Heaston in 2017. How crazy is that? So, no, you're right. It's, Heaston comes in. These are some good football players. These aren't, little guys that have never started. I know, Joe Alt only started 6-7 games, whatever it is. So he started. Joe Alt's still a damn good football player. He's got experience. This is Jared Patterson's 4th year starting a game at Notre Dame. Zeke Correll has been in the program 4 years. On and on and on. So, yeah, I don't understand the run game. I really don't, because this is the 5 he's wanted since spring. This is the group he wanted when camp started, on and on and on. And, yeah, the physicality. I mean, what were they at midfield on a 4th down? 13 personnel and they don't even get a yard. So it's frustrating because everyone just assumes he's going to come in and fix everything. But it's a mess. No, I hear you, Mike. It's blame everyone in the past. Everyone knew was great. And now it's like, well, you just lost to Marshall.
Man, Tim,
you just lost to freaking Marshall, guys.
I've been
Marshall
saying
outrushed Notre Dame. It's like,
I've been saying so much all off season. I said Freeman had done everything right.
Mm-hmm.
The way he recruited, the way he galvanized the program, just being an opposite of Brian Kelly. But what I said was, if they don't start well, and Ohio State gets a first down, God forbid, we're coming after Freeman. And I, in my wildest imagination, could not have imagined this. Just could. Okay. Super chats. Definitely appreciate these. Robert says 2016 upon us again. Tim, it can't be that bad, right?
Well, yeah. Number one, Marshall is a bowl team, so I know they're now
They
Power
have
5,
dudes.
5, but they are.
They said they brought in 40 transfers or something crazy.
They had a ton. I mean, their running back was a 5-star. Went to Florida State, had over 100+ total yards today. So it's that 4-8 year was but who knows what happened in the locker room? Marcus Freeman in his press conference today said he challenged the captains, challenged those older guys, like fix this, so to speak. So we'll see. 4-8. So who do they beat, Mike? What's the schedule? They got to beat UNLV, Navy. Who's the 4 if this guy wants to go 4-8? So
BC. Like, if you think of it, even our show Friday, Tim, you were thinking, 11-1. Went out, baby.
Went out with the seniors, with the leadership that they have, and they have failed.
But then you think about, okay, let's not think about the Ohio State game, which Notre Dame played well in. I think we can all agree to some extent that Notre Dame played, at least in spurts, a good game against Ohio State. But if you just think, okay, Notre Dame losing to Marshall, if they lost to Marshall, they can lose to Cal, they can lose to UN. Like, you go down the list, and it's like, oh shit, they're gonna lose to everybody. Like, beat UNLV. Like, oh man, it's.
Well, that's what happened with Charlie White.
It's going to progressively get more difficult here. When you go Cal, step up to BYU, maybe step down Stanford, UNLV, Syracuse on the road.
No, but that's what happened in 07. They lost that first game, and it just became a domino in 07. That when they only won 3 games, it was just a mess. But that was from see, but that's the thing. In 07, when they went 3-9, that was from the past years of Willingham and no linemen. They were playing tons of freshmen, the sophomores, the young guys all over the place, brand new quarterbacks, all that. So that had been built up over years. First off, Freeman, that's the other thing. Freeman was here last year, so he has recruited some of these guys. More importantly, he's coached these guys.
Yeah.
And secondly, this is his defensive scheme. People could say Al Golden's the DC. Fine, that's great. You watch any of of these games, and the schemes are Marcus Freeman's scheme. They played more 3-3 stack than we saw the second half of last year. They were in 3-3 a bunch today. They actually ran, which I call the old Packer, the old Dom Capers, Dick LeBeau, the great zone blitz NFL coordinators, with the Packers and the Steelers. They ran what I used to, the the 4-man front, meaning the 2 stand-up guys. They had number 9, Adamiola and Foskey, number 7 out there as the 2 stand-up guys. So they were really playing a nickel 4-man front a ton today and didn't really have a lot of success in that. So it was a hodgepodge. So that's Freeman's D. The Freeman's D with the coverages, the nickel, the Bauer package we talked about a ton last year. It's all the same stuff. Mike Goolsby and I bet you we have 1,800 plus text talking about the Mike Will cross splits and how it's maybe worked 1 or 2%, if that much. And I'm probably being way too nice. Even today, they ran the Mike Will cross, boom, hit for a big run because there's no run fits. And they do that constantly. That's a Freeman staple. So, the defense is all there. I don't see 4-8 because I'm gonna be the Mike Singer optimist here. I think there's just too much damn leadership for this to continue unless that locker room just blew up after the game. There was reports about Patterson just losing his mind on the field in the locker room and things of that nature. So looking forward to hearing what happened with that. It was brought up during the press conference. Freeman said he hadn't heard about that, but one of the reporters said Patterson was going a little crazy. So like I said, I don't know anything. It was just brought up in the press conference.
Oh, goodness gracious.
So,
okay. Rick says, "Can we admit Reese is the problem now?" Let's get starting on starting 3. Says Angeli time. I don't know if Mike was right. I don't know what Mike was right about. But I don't know if it's quite Angeli time. Rick Palmer, what in this? How much blame does Tommy Reese get in this? We were. Yeah, I don't want to divulge too much from our blue and gold text chain there, Tim. But I think the consensus, maybe 2/3 of the chat thought it's more on the players than the coaching. What do you say on Reese though?
Well, you know what? There's always. I mean, there's one play that sticks in my head. It's 3rd and 12, and they throw a 5-yard hitch. It's like, what the hell are you throwing a 5-yard hitch for? It's 3rd and 12 in your own territory. You're going to punt, and they threw a quick hitch. You know what? Some of the calls. They throw a fade on what 3rd, wherever it's at over here.
Was that 4th down? Wasn't it 4th down? They threw a fade down the left sideline.
Yeah, to Lindsey, and Lindsey's basically running out of bounds. Buckner's throwing it to him, and it's out of bounds, but Lindsey's like combing the sideline so tight, he has no room for air. They go 13 personnel. They put all the tight ends that they've recruited up on the line, and they run a dive, under center dive that got nothing whatsoever. And it just goes, for me, it goes back to my comments of, if you're going to play Tyler Buckner, let the son of a gun run around and go crazy. Seriously, just play some boom. We're at the park. I got a Nerf football. Run around, catch me. And when they had success today, they did that. Some of the zone reads, the RPO, the quarterback keeper, safeties 10 yards deep. And because once again, it goes back to last year with Jack Cohn. No one respected Cohn. They were knifing like crazy. And that was some of the stuff early in the game. Marshall's just bringing the corner heat and the strong safety off the wide side, knifing down. Let the guy keep it a little bit. But the 3rd and 12, a 5-yard hitch drives me nuts. And then let's just talk about the pick 6 since we're on it. I mean, we could forever.
Sure, because we have different opinions on that.
Number one, obviously we were texting and things of that nature. I look at it as a coach, it's 3rd and 3. He's throwing the 5-yard hitch into the boundary.
Tim.
But go ahead, Mike.
Man defense, right? Man to man.
Well, those corners, by the way, hey, didn't I say this week those corners are getting NFL looks? Those corners were just dominating outside.
So
yes,
the corner
was all over Thomas. Yes.
So I know the corners were obviously playing tight, so I didn't know if that was like a cover 2 look or man. Because if
I'd
it's
have to go back and look at the rewatch and all that stuff, but I mean, he was blanketing the living hell out of Thomas.
Either coverage, you're not throwing the 5-yard hitch outside.
No.
You're not, because that ball has it takes a while to get out there. And if that corner is playing, you already got picked off on that throw. Why are you throwing that ball? I don't get it.
I agree. That goes back to the first pick. Exactly. He throws the hitch to the right side, the wide side over there, and it gets picked off. And when it's 3rd and 3 and you're down after the D just gave up the 95-yard drive, it's like, who the heck's on the field? Because Reese is up top. Who's on the field to whisper to Buckner, look at Mike Mayer? It's 3rd and freaking 3. And as I sent you the screenshot, when I watched it again, Mayer he's uncovered. He's basically the safety's running down from 10 yards to jump Mayer. He throws it to Mayer. He catches it. He gets 10, 15 yards because he's going to turn the corner because the other top wide receiver up top was getting blanketed. So 3rd and 3, man, you go to your best football players. Nothing against Jaden Thomas, but Jaden Thomas has like 0 experience, has made 0 plays. Go to your dudes. And in this game, Styles had made some plays and Mike Mayer had made some plays. Just go to them when you need them. Don't force it on a 5-yard freaking hitch where the corners are kicking the receivers' butts today.
So this is not what you were saying over text message. So you've changed your
tone. No. But what I said over text message was Jaden Thomas was getting his butt kicked. I'm thinking of Buckner real quick as a coach and a quarterback. So he's thinking of it. He's processing it. It's 3rd and 5. I'm going to just get the quick first down. I bet you $2 that's exactly what he's thinking. Because he gets the ball, he's really not reading. If he's reading, he throws it to freaking Mayer. But that goes back processing. The first thing he should have thought about was Michael Mayer, which is funny because we always criticize him for throwing to Mayer, but in that instance, throw it to your best freaking football player. So he's thinking hitch. He gets the ball, he just turns and zips it, and Thomas is just getting dominated by that guy.
But Tim, if it's 3rd and 3, and they're playing man,
No,
I
I agree.
I played receiver in
Mhm.
high school. It's just high school, but when it's man coverage, a 5-yard hitch does nothing unless they're playing 10, 15 yards off of
Yes.
you. The only time, like that was my number one route I caught balls on because I'm not super athletic. Was they're playing cover 3? I'm out to the wide side of the field. My quarterback rolls out. We called it dash right sail. I caught a 5-yard hitch, ran up 10 yards, 15 yards every time. It was fantastic. But if they're playing tight on you,
You can't throw a hitch.
you don't throw the hitch. You don't even run it. Like I don't even understand. Was it like a smash concept? Like it wasn't a smash concept, right? I
No,
don't
think it
even
was
know. I don't even get why that would be
could have been
even
a
an
3-by-1.
option in like at all.
I'm trying to find my notes on that,
Unless
but it could have been
maybe they were in a cover 3 look, so that corner was playing deep, and he just broke on it. Right? I don't know.
that dude was all over. I mean, he was on him so damn fast. But that's as we talked about, is it players? Is it coaching? Players need to make plays on D. I mean, that's my big thing. I mean, I've coached defense for so many years. I've coached a ton of kids that have gone Division I, great football players. And defense, man, it's like, put the pressure on me, put the onus on me, let me be the leader. Defensive dudes got to go make plays. On offense, it really is the call. Sure, you got to beat press, or you got to do this, you got to block, you got to do all that crap. I get it. But a lot of times on offense, it is the call and the situation. And when I've talked to quarterbacks, I always tell them, you know what? If it's a pressure situation, who the heck's out there? And as a quarterback, throw to the dude you trust the most. Does Tyler Buckner really trust Thomas? No. Let's just be brutally honest. He doesn't. And he threw it to him, and it's a pick 6.
It's not like, he didn't have that same exact scenario happen earlier in the game.
Earlier.
I've said on this show, and I caught heat for it, that I'm not as high on Tyler Buckner as you people are, right? Still like him. Still think he's a good player. And we'll talk about we're talking about the lows right now of Buckner. We'll talk about the highs of Buckner next. Speaking of high, rogueshop.com. No laugh, Tim. You don't think that's funny?
No, I'm actually reading the comments as your chat. When you chat, I love to read these comments.
Yeah. What was I talking about? Oh, the other.
Oh, pick. No, we were talking about Buckner, how you weren't as high on him. And with me, as I've said, I love Tyler Buckner. I just wish he wasn't playing some NFL style offense. But they came out in 11 personnel. They came out in tempo. They did some things to open it up for him, and it still bottlenecked down at times. So a couple sacks, a couple bad pressures. Your boy Alt, I thought Alt, from what I saw live, played really good. He gave up the first pressure on that first third down in the first series where the guy knifes underneath him that led to a punt. Other than that, I thought Joe played really well. But then Logan, hey, let's take like an hour to talk about running back pass pro. Where the hell is Kyron Williams when you need him? The running back pass pro is no wonder they're sending him out. That's another thing I've noticed this year is they're doing a lot more swings, releasing the fifth guy because they don't block. Logan Diggs just literally gives the guy a chicken arm on the one sack, and it's just so bad. But and you got an NFL coach coaching him, and it's like, how the hell is that guy doing a chicken arm on a block? It's so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see a guy says we're lucky to win 3 games.
Yeah,
we're gonna get to a bowl, baby. I've been preaching the Mayo Bowl, Mike.
I was impressed by Buckner with Ohio State, given the context of everything. But this one was there's no excuses for throwing a pick 6 and that other pick. You don't throw those passes. So
well, let me back up off of that real quick as I'm reading a few comments and just gathering a few things. Going back to is it the players or the coaches? Has this defense forced any turnovers? Has there been a turnover? Once again, this is the strength of the 2022 Notre Dame football team is the defense. Where's the pass breakups? Is there any pass breakups whatsoever? Brandon Joseph got beat on the last touchdown play. Where's the picks? Where's this first team All-American? I'm just throwing out bodies because I'm a big believer in players make plays on defense. When your dudes are not making plays. Where are they? I mean, Foskey got one sack today, and it's on a rollout as he rolled into him. So on a boot. And outside of that, I don't know what this. I have not looked at the stats, so I couldn't even tell you what they were. It's just frustrating on D because this is what Freeman's laying. I mean, Freeman was the defense coordinator last year. Freeman's taking over for his recruiting and the way he's coached defense in the last few years. They're bringing an NFL dude who's been a head coach at 2 different spots. And all we heard by reporters, I mean, how many times, Mike, did we hear about, oh, they're doing the strip drills. Man, they're really focusing on turnovers this year. It's all we heard in August. And it's been laying an egg out there.
0 pass breakups as well. That's crazy.
They get the hurries. Who got a hurry? So basically no hurries. And that goes with an O-line that offensive line replaced 3 fifth-year seniors. That's like replacing 3 Jared Pattersons at the Marshall level. And this is as if Mike is watching, Mr. Goolsby's watching, I know he'll love this. Marshall is the program that produced Mr. All-American Kane Madden that came to Notre Dame. That's the Marshall program that beat Notre Dame today.
All right.
Well, who got sacks today? I don't remember sacks, tell you the truth. Oh, I remember Henderson on the blitz. I remember
Kaiser got the one where he was rolling out to his right and should have thrown it away.
And did Foskey get credited with one, or was that a TFL?
No, he got one.
He did. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So 2 of the sacks were just rollouts. Rollouts as they ran into the defender. So, yeah, the stand-up, the straight pressure from Adamiola, number 9, and Foskey, number 7, the edge guys, has not been there. They have not had any. I mean, and we're talking about Marshall, and we didn't get pass rush in Marshall. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. All right, let's get to some super chats. Jockon 70. If you have a comment, I'm trying to find it. If you have something you want to bring up or ask, please let us know. Whenever you guys drop super chats, make sure you punch in the comment as well. Broadcast was awful. I thought Collinsworth was good. Garrett was okay. I mean, they were fine. They're not. I mean, they're no Tirico and Breeze, but I don't know. They're fine.
Yeah, and this goes back to one of our Wednesday shows. We talked about this. When the team got announced, I'm watching the game. I'm rewinding it. I'm watching players. Man, I'm not paying attention.
I want the color person to just move things along.
Yeah.
Right. And I thought Collinsworth did a fine job with that. And I want the analyst to teach me things. And I mean, I thought Garrett was fine. He wasn't outstanding. He wasn't,
there was
moving the needle, but he's fine.
No, exactly. I thought Garrett. I mean, there was a few things where he was talking some X and O's and all that. I said, yeah, that makes sense.
Clearly,
the NFL head coach. Yeah, exactly. So, I always pay more attention to that when I rewatch it because I'm going a little slower and just listening.
Okay.
What do we got here?
James says, going forward, does Freeman get more transfers into Notre Dame to help the O-line and D-line?
Well, I mean, first off, the O-line's been recruiting outstanding football players the last few years, and obviously this 2023 class has some outstanding.
With your boy Quinn.
No, exactly. I mean, there's some dudes there. So, I mean, transfers on the O-line? No. Step up and play. And if you don't play, then move on and let the next man in, so to speak, which that could be something moving forward. It's like, when do we – I mean, God, I can't believe we lost to Marshall, but it's like, when do you get the point? I mean, is Notre Dame going to rally and win 10 in a row and get a New Year's 6 game? You never know, right? But at what point do you be like, well, hell, I got to play Ohio State in game 4 next year. Do I get so-and-so ready for that? Start planning ahead, and we'll find out.
Doubt it.
No, and I agree because Harry's always been, these are my 5. I'm going to play my 5, and I'll worry about next year when next year comes. But the D-line, I've been preaching this thing for a year on the message board is there's a lot of dudes going to be leaving. And, everyone assumes, Cross may come back. He may because he loves Notre Dame. Who knows? Lacey or whatnot. But, I mean, you never know. There's a lot of upperclassmen up front that could move on real quick. And I don't know what the underbelly is really, really young and very inexperienced.
Starting 3 with another super chat. Appreciate that.
Ooh.
Who is the best player on defense? Like Goolsby said, play the young guys. I would probably say Brandon Joseph's been pretty good.
Oh, yeah. I have to watch. God, there's one. I know he gave a touchdown in the end. There's one.
Howard Cross had 11 tackles as a defensive lineman. Holy crap.
Well, they ran the ball down their throat, so he's probably carrying on. But Bracey, Tariq Bracey has been one of those guys you love to complain about him a bunch, over his years. He's the Clarence Lewis before Clarence Lewis in the Fiesta Bowl. Bracey made some outstanding plays today again. His 2 games, that he's been the best football player on the defense. He's probably been the best football player on the team outside of the punter, by the way. The punter has been nails. That dude's been on. So
John Sott, yeah.
So when you're nickel and your punter are your best football players in 2 games, man, you got to start rolling some dice, buddy.
All right, I want to go back to the Buckner talk.
Sure.
I said we're talking about the highs and the lows. Tim, Notre Dame had success when they were just like, all right, we're just going to run Buckner. And I remember texting,
Yes.
You and Goolsby, and I said,
Yes.
look, it's kind of a give and a take thing because the more you run Buckner, the more likely he is to get hurt. It's just,
guess what happened at the end of the game?
He got hurt. I mean, the more hits that guy takes, and remember, Buckner's got, a history with injuries. Got knocked out his entire sophomore season. Got dinged up last year. Got hurt again today. We don't know everyone knock on wood, say a prayer. Don't know the extent of that injury. But yeah, he it looked good running the ball though.
What was the sack yards, Mike? Because he's got 13 for 44. How many sack yards?
You know what, Tim? Yeah, it doesn't. I don't think it says here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he had total sacks and the total stats, but did Pine get sacked once? I can't remember.
Yeah, the sack adjusted rushing yards for Notre Dame was 144. So 14. I don't know if Pine got sacked. Let's see.
So really 14 yards add on.
Yeah, so let's add on. Yeah, 14.
Right around 50.
Yeah. No.
Which is still not a ton because it looked like he was starting
58.
to make some great runs.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. They didn't do it a ton. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know, but that's the thing. And that's, I'm yelling at the TV.
Oh, there it is. Thank you.
What's that?
ND fan 1993. Hey, great year, by the way. That's when I was born. And Notre Dame beat Florida State. Gained 52. So yeah, 52 yards.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's but that's the thing. It's like, if you're gonna run inside zone, you got to have a fake in constantly and whatnot. So yeah, it's frustrating because he's a runner, he's an athlete. That's the whole reason why. I mean, and then, this is going back to the quarterback room. What did Tommy Reese recruit him to do? To run the Jack Cohn offense? To run the Drew Pine offense? Just scramble once every now and then if you get feeling pressure? What is the offense for him? And I thought he was going to be like, dude, we're going all over the place, which they did. I actually put, this looks like old Clemson back in the heyday. They had Mayer as a hip, 3 wides, motion, and doing.
What do you want? What do you want them to do with Buckner?
What I want them to do is just stay in 11 personnel and Mayer as a hip player, as I call him, basically the glorified fullback, motion, dump the ball to Mayer at times, or put Mayer at the slot, put Baum in there if you want to do that. The QB reads, the QB keeper.
Like an Oregon
yes.
run spread.
Yes. A true spread, I call it the Urban Meyer because Urban Meyer was so quarterback centric, with his guys. That's the success Urban Meyer had, was running quarterback down your throat. And that's what I was expecting. Some more RPOs. When they threw the RPOs today, how many times did he dump it for quick passes? It's success. And you got Buckner back there sitting around trying to do 5 reads. You're wasting your time.
Yeah, didn't Florida have Cam Newton and Tim Tebow on the same team, right?
Yes.
1 year?
Yes.
That same kind of quarterback. Yeah, Notre Dame is not.
Yes, that's what I don't understand. Because if Buckner doesn't play next week, Mike, against Cal, it's Drew Pine, it's going to be a completely different world. So every time Notre Dame runs the ball, no one's going to respect Drew Pine. They're going to get 9 in the box. They're going to play quarters man, outside and put 9, the safeties up in the box and just be like, beat us on the pass, Notre Dame.
A lot of this offense just seems very manufactured. I don't know if that's the right term, but like other than like the run, like Buckner running the ball is outstanding. I want to separate Buckner as the two quarterbacks. Running quarterback, Buckner is fantastic, and I would even throw Buckner on the move.
Yes.
Right, backyard football Buckner,
Yes.
Where he got that pressure and just found Bauman sitting there. It's kind of a dangerous throw a little bit, but hey, we like it. But Buckner just sitting back and dropping back and passing, Tim,
is terrifying.
What did Mike Singer say about Buckner? What was Mike Singer's message? There's going to be a lot of good, a lot of fun. He's going to be running the ball, trucking a guy, and then he's going to go pick six. That's what I said.
Yeah, you did say that
today.
You did say that, but you're expecting the other parts to come apart, or if that happens with Buckner, a young quarterback, first time starting,
then they get that pick to offset it. The defense steps up and defense.
Yes, and that's why the 95-yard drive. And I know, take away the pick six, they hold Marshall to 19, which, by the way, is the score I gave. Right, my prediction was Marshall 19. And I said, I don't know how they're getting to 19, but they're getting to 19.
Yeah, we're gonna give you credit for the score prediction. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. As I flipped a coin for that one, but no, you're right. It's don't sit back there and just run drop back, or if you do, throw it to Mayer. But what was the success today? They threw a quick bubble out to Styles. Styles goes for like 15, 16 yards. Quick dump to Tyree one time. The same thing. It's like that's the offense. That's college football these days, is run around going crazy with your hair on fire. Not let's huddle. Hey, give me another tight end. I know Notre Dame is tight end you because they have one tight end that dominates. You don't have to play multiple tight ends to be tight end you. Kyle Rudolph went in the second round because he played every damn snap. Anthony Fasano, on and on and on, all these guys over the years. Mark Bavaro, he played every damn snap at tight end. So it's you don't have to play multiple tight ends to be tight end you.
Anthony Fasano was a part of my favorite play of football all time of my life. 2000, I always forget if it was 7 or 8, when the Dolphins unveiled the Wildcat and Ronnie Brown threw him a touchdown. It's my favorite. It still is.
Fasano, player.
Jockin says Mike and Tim contributed earlier. Just want to let you guys know, appreciate all the podcast. We appreciate you. Cheers, my friend. And hoping that Notre Dame turns this thing around. So, Tim, I want to bring it back to something that we always talk about.
Oh, boy.
And, yeah.
We haven't talked about this in months.
Well, I don't know if we're talking about the same thing.
Okay.
What do you think?
Oh, I want to hear you.
No, you go first. What do you think I'm about to say?
Truck trailer.
Oh, no. I think that's pretty obvious. I think it's pretty obvious that Notre Dame doesn't have a truck at quarterback.
Okay, I was going to say, or what position is there a truck? I mean, seriously, we have not mentioned truck trailer, Mike, and wow.
Notre Dame has a truck at quarterback when he's running the football, but at some point, does a defense not just say, okay, stack the box, have one of those players spy Buckner, and then just bracket Mayer, and then have our best corner on Styles? Then what are you doing?
This is the deep shots right here. I think I have, right before half, 0 for 5 on deep passes in the first half. But you know what? It's also 2 weeks in a row where they are like milli-inches away from the play. Styles last week in Ohio State, Buckner overthrows him by a hair. I mean, Brendan Lindsay is running like free, like it's at practice right before halftime today. You cannot overthrow that dude by a foot. That's a walk-in touchdown right before halftime. Game over. Because Notre Dame would come out second half, guns a-blazing, just hyped up and ready. There's my word, hype again. Ready to rock and roll in the second half. And he misses them. So
you think we had a heated discussion about this. So you think that was because it did hit Lindsay's hands, so he could have made the catch, but the ball could definitely have been delivered.
True, but you know what? But it's also Lindsay, man. I mean, when was the last time Lindsay caught a bomb? I'm going back to how about Purdue last year when he's uncovered basically in the back of the end zone and just bounces off his chest.
Well, he caught 1 for 5 yards today on 6 targets.
1 for 5 yards. 5. So he catches a 5-yard hitch today, and that's him. And they threw to him, I want to say, 3 times on fades. 3 times on fades. And he's supposedly this track guy. I don't know. I mean, Lindsey.
Styles. We like Styles. Styles is baller. Styles played well. Okay, going back to that other.
The Buckner. So what's your thing? I'm sorry.
The other thing, right?
Yeah.
What we always would say about Brian Kelly is that he's not winning a lot of these big ones.
Sure.
Right? We're looking post 2016 Notre Dame. He ain't winning these big ones, but you know what he's not doing, Tim?
He's not losing to Marshall.
He's not losing to Marshall. You know what Notre Dame did against that Temple that one year? Was it or Ball State?
Yeah.
Stunk.
12-8 game or something like that.
Stunk. But guess what, Tim?
They won. Because the
Toledo
defense rallied up and would not let Ball State score.
This game had shades. I even mentioned at the end of our video Friday, you better hope that Odd Shark is not right and that this is a 3-point game. And
yes,
like Toledo last year, like God, the only difference in this game from Toledo last year, obviously, other than Notre Dame winning, is just last year had more points. Otherwise, tight game, final drive kind of thing. Like Notre Dame's got the ball to go win the game, and they needed. Last year, right? Cohn's finger popped there, whatever, pops it back in, throws the touchdown to I forget who.
Mike Mayer.
Yeah. And this year, the difference was it was a pick 6. So I'm just wondering, right? It's not like Freeman went out there and threw the pick 6, but whatever it is, like Kelly didn't lose those games post 2016, and Freeman just did. So I don't know if that's being. And going back to what I said earlier, I'm not going to say the popular thing all the time. I'm just going to bring things up, and we're going to talk about this. Is there anything to that, or is it like, come on, Mike, it's just 3 games in, like, that's or Kelly did suck, or Kelly had nothing to do with that. It was just maybe it was just luck that Kelly kept escaping some of those games. I don't know.
Okay, I look at it. So Brian Kelly's the first Notre Dame coach, I think, since 1907, 06, something like that. That's left Notre Dame for another job. No one's ever done it. They all retire, move on, go to television, hang out. Lou Holtz did coach another position. Bob Davie did, but that was after a year or 2 down the road. That they got back into coaching. So no one's left another job, and I think some of this with Freeman coming aboard. So when Freeman comes aboard, he was there for a year. And I just keep going back to this when Dr. Jack at the press conference was talking about Freeman, like these guys did not want to change the culture. They wanted to keep everything the same, keep everything rolling. They love Marcus Freeman. Swarbrick says, all right, you got the job. But what did Kelly leave after Merriweather's dad Monday night? Freeman, as he said, he basically got the job Wednesday night, and they announced it Friday morning to the players in that weight room. So basically, within 48 hours, Swarbrick says, all right, I'm done. We're going to give it to Freeman. So it was to keep everything moving forward. But words are different. People speak them different. Language is different, things of that nature. So, what transpired? So Freeman was hired because the defense, the recruiting, they're taking a gamble that Freeman's personality is going to go out there and get the Jeremiah Loves. He's going to go bring in 15 of those dudes each and every year with a bunch of other hard grinders, so to speak, and come in and build Notre Dame.
That's going to take some time, though.
Which is the next thing, which goes back to this constant grinder that Notre Dame is constantly on. Well, we got to build it. Okay. Well, as you're building it, so as you're sitting there building it, let's say, guess what Alabama's doing, Georgia's doing, Ohio State's doing. They're just going to keep cranking out W's, and Keon Keeley's are going to be like, well, I want to go. I don't want to go 8-4. I don't want to go build. I want to go to the freaking playoffs today. USC is probably going to start cleaning house. I wonder what that score is. I'm just saying USC in general because they're going to sling it, and they're going to start getting a ton of SoCal guys eventually, things of that nature. So kids are kids. And you'll probably talk to Mike about this. Mike Goolsby about this tomorrow night. Is the recruiting factor and all that stuff of. Yeah, I want to go there. you could sell the 4 for 40, all that stuff. But when you're trying to get the big dogs, you're trying to get the Richard Youngs, those tailbacks, and these guys, those dudes want to play now. They want to play for a winner. They want to play in the playoffs. They want to go in the NFL. So when you're sitting there, as you just said, building it, that's the repetitive cycle that Notre Dame has constantly been in. I think this is the 27th year, 26th year since Lou Holtz left. It's been nonstop. Well, wait till I get my guys on. Okay, so I wait for you to get your guys in. Basically, by year 3, if it's not working, what the hell have we done? And has the recruiting been so top-notch for it to be successful? In Charlie Weiss's case, it was not. Weiss had multiple top 5 classes on top of each other. I think 3 in a row, and it was a train wreck coaching-wise. So the Freeman era is officially underway. The Fiesta Bowl was just like, man, you got 10 days, go figure out what you want to do. And Tommy Rees wanted to play 7-on-7. And Ohio State's Ohio State. They got freakazoids built by Urban Meyer, who now Ryan Day's continuing. The Freeman era is officially now here. You have lost to an unranked team. What in the world are you going to do now?
Ended that streak.
42 in a row, Mike, the longest in the country since Alabama lost to A&M last year. The 42 wins in a row of unranked teams.
So Notre Dame's scored 31 points this season? Is that right?
And don't forget a whopping 7 in the second half last year, which was at the end of the fourth quarter.
USC has 35 at halftime.
It was 21-0 at halftime, or 21-0 at the end of one quarter.
Yes, yeah, 30, yeah.
What's the score?
35-14.
Okay.
Right now, as we record this. So
with their 30 transfers. I think 25, something like that. Crazy. Whiteouts. I see a guy talking about whiteouts. That's and that's going back to, I mean, we just, as Mike said it last week perfectly after the Ohio State game, we always talk about the same thing, perimeters. Marshall's perimeter football players were better than Notre Dame's. It's always on the damn perimeter. So how the hell is Notre Dame? It was the same thing last week with Ohio State. Ohio State's corners were just like, I'm better than you. It's constantly perimeter football play. So then when Notre Dame, O-line U, and the whole media has hyped up this front 7 to be the best. So when Notre Dame can't even compete in the trenches, as last week shown, Ohio State ran, what did I say, 90% in the second half run game efficiency, and then Marshall for 220-ish today or whatever the hell it was, run game. So when you can't even compete in the trenches and you're O-line U on top of the perimeter, hey, give Marcus Freeman 3 years, right? Is that what it's going to be? So is that the cycle?
Yeah. A couple quick things. So we are going live Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time with Mike Goolsby. So go ahead and set your clocks, your calendars, whatever it is. Jot that down on your arm so you don't forget. Mike Goolsby will be live with us tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern time. He wants to rewatch the game. So he'll have some really good thoughts.
Yeah, he's rewatching it, by the way. I guarantee. Yeah.
So I feel like,
well, it's right here, just real quick, Mike. Right before halftime, they go down and get a damn field goal. That was a staple of Freeman's defense last year. I think 3 or 4 times they gave up points right before halftime. Just frustrating. Frustrating.
So Tim, I feel like one of the things when Freeman got hired was like, all right, I'll take an 8-4 season if it means we get to win a national championship under this guy. So maybe that's an outlook. I don't know. Like, take these lumps and then
that is the swing. That is it. He's recruiting. He's got the back. And I've mentioned this, and this is why I'm a big Freeman fan. Is he's a Buckeye. He played there. He's been through all that stuff. We're not getting some guy who's been a career assistant for 22 years like Bob Davie was, or Charlie Weiss, in the NFL and things like that. You're getting a dude that was 5-star, played for national championships, went to the NFL, couldn't pass physical, or he would have played in the NFL for a long time. He was that good of a linebacker at Ohio State. So, and then he gets into coaching and he's just moving up quick because he's a recruiter. He's a recruiter. He's got personality. He gets people on his side, all those things. But that's the thing at Notre Dame that's the gamble. I don't want to say a gamble. That's the return on investment. They put a check down. Boom. We want our return on investment. This is what we're expecting.
All right. One more thing, Tim, then we're going to get out of here is like 80% of the comments here on our live chat are just fire Reese. Like let's just say Freeman does fire Reese. Wow. News comes out Sunday, practice Monday, kind of, all right, here we go. What message does that send to the team? It's very much a like if I'm a player on that team, I'm like, oh, we suck. And we just got our coach fired, and now the season's kind of in the toilet. Like,
yes,
I don't know what I don't, Irish fans, I don't think that's really going to accomplish what you think. And then who's going to be your offensive coordinator? I see Notre Dame fans, we should have got a few years ago, we should have got a real experienced offensive coordinator. Okay. We can't rewrite history, but you fire Reese. What experienced offensive coordinator do you think is just going to be lying around here to coach the rest of the season? Chancey Stuckey, who 3 years ago wasn't even coaching college football, or
he was an actor.
Dylan McCullough, he's never been an offensive coordinator.
No, you're not going to just
Jared Parker.
I mean,
he's got a little bit of offensive coordinator experience, but they ran him out of West. Like, he wasn't going to be calling plays at West Virginia. They replaced him.
I know they demoted him and the head coach. No, it goes. It goes back to the thing. Is it coaching? Yes, it's coaching at times. It could be a play. It could be why'd you run dive at midfield, spread and let Buckner run around and catch me if you can type of scheme, and instead of running in the A gap. I get all that stuff, but if they hit the damn pass for halftime, the game goes away. If they hit the pass to Styles last week, it's boom. They're up 17-7 if they hit Styles on that pass. You go down, score, they're up 17-7 against Ohio State. So players got to make plays, and there's a couple instances where dudes have just not made plays. And that goes back to the interception, the Buckner pick. If it's 3rd and 3, I'm throwing to the damn All-American tight end. Look for him first, at least. He gets the ball and he just instantly goes in the damn boundary. So the run game, this goes to Freeman. I mean, Freeman has preached, we want to be, known as, a lineman program. We want linemen to lead us. Well, when the hell are they going to lead us? So, and Freeman, God, what's his quote? He had a nice quote where he talks about, challenge everything, right?
Yeah.
So he brought that up today in his post-game press conference about challenging everything, and how there was a couple questions in the press conference, and Freeman just said, yeah, we got to look at that. We got to look at, he's giving an answer and feeling for the guy because he wants to win so bad. But he did mention they got to challenge some things, look at things. Chris Tyree only touched the ball 4 or 5 times today and looked explosive doing it. So does Notre Dame, I always go back to, the last time they played for a national title in 2012. Those dudes didn't come off the field. That defense never came off the field. Does Notre Dame need to play 25 guys on defense? 30 guys, whatever the heck it is. They're rotating like it's a hockey game. Do you need to play 3 running backs in a college football game? Do you need to play 3 running backs? Are they doing too much with certain guys to be like, hey, come play here, we're going to play you? Is that a tone? I don't know.
I think it has to. I think that has to be a factor in the one-time transfer portal era of, I'm not getting carried. I think I'm better than this guy. I'm out. Like, freaking Tyree, 5 touches.
Then, and if that happens, that's a great point there, Mike. If that happens, but you're the 3rd damn tailback, then okay, we'll go get another guy. We'll go recruit another guy. We'll bust our ass to go find another guy. That goes back to recruiting. Just keep replenishing the roster and bring in as many great football players as you can. And if you're the 3rd tailback, do you need to get, how many great Notre Dame tailbacks were like, I'm the dude, give me the ball 25 times a carry or a game? Estime, God, it seems like we talk about him and he gets 10 carries for 20 yards again today, something like ridiculous, low numbers. Yet there's a couple downhill runs where he's ripping off 7 yards, and then he's got 5-6 carries with he's getting hit at the line of scrimmage. So extremely frustrating on those things, so it's always easy to say, fire him. Then you go back to your point a couple times, Mike, is Freeman he's a first-year coach. So he's only been here basically 2 games. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. All right. That's going to do it for this little impromptu live show. So again, set your calendars. Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, we will be live with Mike Goolsby to get his unfiltered thoughts about the game. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up on this video, go to blueandgold.com. Much more coverage from the guys over at Blue and Gold. And yeah, as always, we will catch you next time.
Thank you.